Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to introduce you to AI Workspace in WSO2 API Platform. So AI Workspace is a dedicated unified workspace with the needful tools for building secure, governed, and scalable AI-powered applications. Here you can manage your AI gateways and configure, manage, and onboard LLM providers, manage app LLM proxies, your MCP proxies, GenAI applications, and get insights into AI usage, performance, and more through Moesif. Now, in this video, we're not going to cover all these features. We're just going to help you quickly get started with AI Workspace. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up an AI gateway, get it up and running, and then configure an LLM provider, deploy it to this gateway, and then we're going to make some requests, see that everything is working correctly. Then we're going to take a look at guardrails. We're going to enforce some guardrails and see if we can get them working. And finally, we're going to look at some of the insights AI Workspace gives you. I am in the organization screen. We're in the overview screen here. So if you are in the WSO2 API Platform console, you can go to AI Workspace from this button, or you can just type in this URL manually and come here. So from here, from the organization view, so after you come in, you either sign in or sign up, and after giving some details into your organization and everything, you'll be here in the overview screen. So from here, we will go to AI gateways, and we're going to click add AI gateway. So let's give our gateway a name. So you have your optional description, your URL, and whether or not it's a development or a production gateway. So click add gateway. You can have your gateway up and running in a virtual machine, Docker, Kubernetes. You can run on any of these platforms. But for this video, we're going to go ahead with the quick start instructions. So before you proceed, make sure that you have these prerequisites met. So first, we're going to download the gateway and then configure it, which is basically connecting the gateway to the control plane, enable analytics through Moesif and stuff like that. And then finally, we're going to start the gateway. So let's copy the download commands, go to our terminal, paste this, and next we're going to copy the configuration commands, paste it, and finally we're going to go inside the gateway that we have downloaded and then start it up using this docker compose command. So if this is your first time running this command, it's going to download the images, build them, and then start the gateway. So our gateway, so if we go back to our gateways list, back to list, so it's still showing as inactive. So API platform gateway started. It should, if we refresh the page, or it's going to refresh dynamically, it's going to see as active. So that means that our gateway is connected now to the control plane. So perfect. Now let's go to LLM providers. So LLM providers, here you can basically integrate with your AI service platforms that offer large language models. So we're going to click add plus create provider. So it supports OpenAI, Mistral, Gemini, Azure OpenAI, AI Foundry, AWS Bedrock, which is coming soon, and Anthropic as well. So in this video, we're going to use OpenAI. So click that. So let's give it a name, an optional description, the context, which is the root path for your LLM provider. So here you will want to paste your OpenAI API key. So let's do that. Paste our API key. And here you can start adding guardrails, but we are going to take a look at that later. So let's leave that for now and then click add provider. Successfully added new service provider. So now you're going to see the OpenAPI resources of the OpenAI API populated in your provider's overview screen. So let's take a look at all of these tabs. So in the overview screen, you have your API overview, the resources that are available. In the connection tab, you have the provider endpoint details, authentication, and stuff like that. In access control, you have these so here you can selectively allow and deny specific resources of your upstream LLM provider. So for example, here we are going to, let's move all of these resources in the denied list, and from here let's search for chat completions and responses API. We only want to allow these two resources to be accessible. So let's move them here. And then if we save, now let's clear this. So as you can see, we only are allowing these two resources. So any request to other than these two will not pass through the gateway. So go to the security tab. You have the security details, your authentication, API key. So we're going to, as soon as we deploy to the gateway, we'll see the gateway or provider level authentication that we'll do. So in rate limiting, you have your different rate limiting scenarios. So you can enable request-based rate limiting, token counts. You also have costs, and as you can see, you can enable provider-wide or for a resource. You can enable rate limiting based on resources, like per resource, or you can do one that applies across all the resources in your provider. You can also do per consumer. And then in guardrails and policies section, you can apply provider level guardrails. You can also apply per resource. So we're going to take a look at guardrails soon. And in the models tab, you can specify the model types, the model names that you want to allow this provider to have. Let's first deploy to gateway. Let's select deploy. So it's going to deploy to the gateway that we created earlier. So now our deployment is active. So if we go back, you can generate an API key through which you can enable authenticated requests to your provider through the gateway, through this endpoint. If we go generate an API key, let's give it a name, provider key, select generate. So it gives you the curl command that you can try instantly out. So the API key is going to be in this X API key named header, and this is the API key that you have. So let's copy this and see if we can run and get a response. Let's paste that here. It has the pay flag. We should get a response from the OpenAI API. Perfect. So that means that our gateway, our provider setup, everything has been correct so far. Now, if we send a request without that authentication header, that X API key header, we are not going to go through. We're going to get a denial. Unauthorized, we don't have a valid API key. So you have a provider level authentication with this X API key. And you also have, of course, your OpenAI API key that you entered while onboarding and configuring the provider in the beginning. So you have 2 layers of security here. Let's go to guardrails and policies, and let's add a guardrail. So we're going to come to this tab and select add. So these are the guardrails that are available. They are populated from the policy hub, which is a centralized collection or repository of various policies across various use cases. So we have basic authentication, course, GWT MCP authentication, authorization, access control, model round robin, pi masking, you have prompt compressor, and so on. So let's try to take a look at word count guardrail. So let's go to word count guardrail. So this is basically constraining requests and responses based on the number of words there is. So let's go to, so you will at least need to configure request or response. So let's go to request and then So you have to enable this. So if you disable this, whatever you specify here is not going to be validated. If you enable, that means that is the request is going to be validated against these rules that you specify. To allow no more than 5 words in the response. And here you can specify the exact JSON path in the request. So if we go back to the request that we had sent earlier, we have messages array, and inside that we have content. So messages -1 means the last element in the array. So here we have only one element, so it doesn't matter. And then the content key. So we're good here. So in the advanced settings, you have more mechanisms. So if you can enable show assessment, which enables logging. If you encounter any errors, it's going to show more information about it. And you can invert your logic. So let's click on add and then select save. So now let's deploy our gateway. Since we have added the guardrail, we need to deploy for the changes to take effect. So let's select deploy. Deploying now. If we go back to our terminal and let's now type in a new request and say that so as you can see, we have message guardrail intervened. We have violated the guardrail, and the reason for that is the word count has exceeded, and it was in the request part of the HTTP activity. So our guardrail is working. If we do send a request that is not more than 5 words, we should get through. So that means the guardrail is working correctly. So that's how you can. So now let's go to insights. And here you can take a look at various analytics from traffic insights to errors, activity, HTTP, and HTTP traffic volume, and so on. So here in the overview screen, you have a consolidated overview of various analytics across your LLM, MCP, and traditional APIs. So you have your unique users, requests, error counts, LLM and MCP traffic, platform metrics, your top applications, usage across APIs across platform. You have your traffic breakdown across different segments, traffic intensity, your platform, as in the end user devices that has been using, the user agents, and of course the geographic heat maps. So you can select on the individual metrics. So for example, if you want to understand more about the customers, you can select here. So these require you to have a paid Moesif plan. So you have access to Moesif Basic under your current WSO2 plan. So, but for a more in-depth look at some of these analytics, you need to have a paid subscription. You can select LLM traffic details and take a look at more of the analytics here. You have cost trend per provider. We're only going to see OpenAI, so that's why it's here. So, and you can also take a look at traffic share by provider and model. So we have used GPT-4o Mini for the most part. So that's the only thing that exists here. You have request intensity across your weekdays and time intervals. You have latency trends and so on. And on top, you can filter by production and development environments, and of course the time interval. You can also set your desired time interval and so on. And it doesn't refresh automatically, but you can set a refresh time as well. So that's it. That's how you can get started with AI Workspace. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.